Guru team, welcome to DayZ, welcome to Sakhal, welcome to the White Cloud server, and welcome to Rudnogorsk. Yes, Rudnogorsk. This is Rudnogorsk. It's got some very interesting features on the map that we will have a look at and explain. And it is a very industrial place. So we can see over here. This is like a. I guess this must be. Are they gas collectors? So I guess this is a gas terminal here. So there's a gas terminal here. Lots of industrial associated with it, and we obviously have this massive, great big coal mining and coal loading and sorting operation, which is what this strange shape is on the map. Remember, I was saying I was trying to figure out exactly what that was in terms of loading and various other bits and pieces. Well, it turns out it's this lot, which is very reminiscent of. There's definitely been a movie or two that I've seen where there's people running around in these kind of areas shooting at each other. So yeah, it's very interesting and it's very noisy, and it has this enormous, great big loader here, and this enormous, great big cleared valley that marches off into the distance. And you have some houses on this side, and there's this rock here, and then there's another valley on this side, and there's houses marching off into the distance, and then there's houses over here, and just over there is the spring, which we'll go and have a look at, and a whole bunch of other things. So we're going to go and have a bit more of a closer look around. Notable features being fire station. Great place to get fire station clothes, which is very good clothes. Major industrial area, of course. Over here, I don't know if you can see, but there is medical tents, and behind that is military tents. There's not a lot of room for medical stuff on the map, but those medical tents definitely come in. And over here, you can just see, if I can squeeze between the trees, that try not to fall off the roof. That just over there is the top of police. And then, like I've said, a whole load of houses. So the actual town itself is mostly industrial, with industrial buildings. And that's what most of this is. You have the service station, you have fire, you have police down here. You've got containers and container areas. You've got industrial areas. You've got more containers down here. You've got the coal. You then have the houses, which are sort of up the far valley. The houses march up into the woods. You can see the road splits off and goes off in this direction. And then on this side, there's houses as well. And over here, right up here at the spur, there's a couple of little houses off in the distance. We'll go and have a look at the end. These regularly spaced grey blocks aren't houses or sheds, and they march all the way up the road into the hinterland, up past this place, which is Sakhal, which we'll talk about at another date, and takes you up to this place up here. They're these things. They are these enormous, great big power transmission lines that you can see marching off into the distance. So they're those regular spaced grey blocks heading off that way. So yeah, so this is Rudnogorsk, and you know, lots of ice flows, lots of harbour, like I said, lots of containers and places, various bits and pieces. You can go and find things, not find things, hide out in, etc., etc. So yeah, so there you go. So let's start over there, and we'll go and we'll have a look from fire. Right, here we are, top of the fire station, which is a which is a good place to be. We were initially just over there. We're now just over here. So the road comes in from around here from Matrosovo, and there's the oil refinery out at the end. I'm not going out at the end, but you can see that there are industrial buildings out there at the end. There are sticks and things out there. You can make fires. It is a good place to go and hide out and make a little fire. I've been out there before. And you obviously have a bunch of other industrial buildings down here. with some, you know, odd shipping containers and various other bits and pieces around the place that might have bits and pieces of loot that you want. And you've seen these kind of industrial things before. What you want to get to over here is, though, you want to get over to this stuff over here. These two buildings are set up as medical areas. You can just about see the yellow tents in there. There's a couple of yellow tents outside, and there's a whole load of military containers. Just one thing to be aware of: there's quite a few firemen around down here, so you're going to have to watch out for those guys when you are running around. And then there is the container terminal, and you can see there's this large I assume this is the coal delivery pipeline which goes out over there. So yeah, fire station, usual good place to get loot. There's a fire jacket or fire pants or something down there, and there may be more things inside the building. So yeah, let's go. And oh, and there's these industrial units over here as well, which has got stuff. These are the things you probably recognize these from NWAF and a couple of other places. So let's go down and have a look at the military and medical area, shall we? Right, here we are. So we've got a number of these military containers down here. As you can see, makes this little kind of like nested area. And a few more containers. We've got a couple of tents. And then we have this which stretches off into the medical area. Often tends to be quite a lot of Zeds in here. Got some couple of sort of medical areas set up. Bits and pieces lying around. We got there chlorine. Some Zeds kicking about. Some medical tents. Some more stuff, wool gloves. Fishing boat. You can get stuff on the fishing boat, by the way. There are spawn areas on the fishing boat. You can get up inside the bridge and so on. Got a few bits and pieces there. Smoke grenade. Another military tent. Boots, pants, and you get some Zeds out here as well, which is fine. Yeah, okay, there you go. And these things, I'm not sure about these things. This is kind of like, I don't know what this is. It's not really it's not a boat. I don't know what it is. It's very weird. I haven't dared. I think you can make the jump, maybe another time. But I think you can get up there. I'm not sure there's going to be anything strange, startling, fascinating, or exciting. So there you go. This is probably a place to have a look at. Let's pull out our map. Right, here we are. So so we're up here, obviously, next to where the fire is. So we're going to take a little stroll over out onto the point, and we'll have a look at some of the containers and things out on the point. And then we'll shimmy on back to police, and I'll see you there. Right. Well, here we are. There's the view of the oil terminal, gas terminal. I think those flat ones are oil. Those domed ones are gas. And like I said, there's a whole load of industrial sheds and things that go out to the lighthouse on the point. And you can see that there's a whole bunch of containers out there. next to the cranes. There's some containers out there, which are pretty good. I've been out there. And yeah, a whole bunch more industrial buildings and things out that way. We came through from over there. You can see where the medical tents are, and there's a little container yard over there. We're up here on this. I think this is a kind of a coal loading machine. I don't know, whatever it is. It's noisy. Yeah. So there's the belt for the coal and everything else that comes off that. And there's the coal yard that we did talk about. Not a whole heck of a lot else out here, but if you have a look out here, you can see there's a bunch of Zeds out there talking about canister or bridge or whatever it is they're talking about. And goes on down to the, I think this is the tech building or whatever it is, training building, all that kind of stuff. And there's a boat, and there's lots of places, there's lots of things, but it is really, really industrial in nature. And like I said, we're going to head over there and we're going to find ourselves the police station. Right, and here we are over by the police station. So there's the coal. We're just out on the point over there, the other side of the tech building. As I've said, you got a few other industrial buildings and bits and pieces. You got all the police running around. You got some sheds outside, some more containers, some garage sheds out there, some more industrial things. This is sort of the edge of this bit of town, as it were. So there's not much heck else out there. And that's really the front of the whole town. Just a big industrial expanse with containers and odds and sods and sheds and different kinds of industrial buildings from many different maps that you've probably seen. Down the back here, not a lot. You got an awful lot of this coal thing and a couple of other industrial buildings and various other bits and pieces. And there's the wonderful sun setting behind the hill, and a bunch of houses up there. So we're going to head up this way, and we'll have a look at some of the houses, and we'll have a look at the spring, and I'll bring you back then. I'll see you soon. Right, here we are. This is near Bovo Spring. So this is where the spring is. You can see that we have come from down over here. Don't think you can quite. Can you quite see? Police, you cannot. But you can see that is where we started out, on top of the coal. And there's some houses down there, and this is where you would come to find water. When you want water. So it's up here. It's next to this big rocky outcrop, which kind of sticks out like a rock. So you can see that. Pardon me. And these are the houses coming up the valley. There you go. There's police over there. This is where we were. Over there. Right. Yeah, and these houses extend up the valley. And they extend up the valley quite a way, as I have said, right up there to the wood line. The tree line where it turns from deciduous into pine. There's a couple of houses up there, and there's a couple of houses up there. It's a very interesting way that things are strung out. Let's have a look at the little map. Right, so there we are. We've come down from the spring. We're just standing in the field, looking up the road to the tree line, and then it carries on over to the other side, and there's a couple of hidden just up in the top of the trees as well. So they're houses, they're places to go, they're places you can hang out. There's a little house there. Seen that on the map. They're places you might find loot, places you might find a safe place away from a storm, that you could theoretically light a fire without people bumping into you or causing you trouble. But they are quite spaced out, so there's quite a lot of ground to cover between them. Not very covered in terms of that. I mean, I suppose if you were worried, you could grab some stuff and head up into the tree line and make a fire up there. Right, so we'll go and have a look on the other side, and I'll bring you back when we're on the other side. Right, well, here we are. We've come much further up the valley, and if we have a look at the map, this is where we are. We came up this little spur bit. There's a bit there which shows a bridge, and you can see that the big kind of weird road, really is a road, that stretches all the way down there. It's massive. Is right there, and these are the spare houses, which really is as far up as we are going to go, because this is really now beyond Rudnogorsk, but this is kind of like technically the very, very northernmost tip of Rudnogorsk, and there's a whole sort of a shed alley here. No house, maybe shanty house, I don't know what you would call it. And then it marches on further up that way, but we won't be going any further for Rudnogorsk. So there you go. That is Rudnogorsk. I hope it is helpful. Gives you a taste of that. You may not have been before. You may have seen things that you haven't run across before. You've been through here at night or whatever the situation, or didn't know that you could come all the way up this road. Didn't know there was safe places up here that you could go and hide out if you wanted to get away from the craziness down by the coast where everyone spawns in and runs around trying to kill each other. So this is Rudnogorsk. Do click the like button, do subscribe to the channel, do click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these is coming out, and if you would like to apply to join the White Cloud server, please follow the instructions below the video, and I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.
PlayStation